Welcome. This is the final module where we're going to discuss sustainable flexibility and keeping your gains. So, here in lesson one today, we are going to discuss a long term flexibility plan. Welcome to the final module. I bet you are quite excited. So, now you've built a lot, you've learned a lot across those 8 modules. You've learned about plateaus, you've learned about anatomy, you've learned about strength based flexibility, you've learned about active and passive flexibility. Wow. So now let's refine that approach. So this way you can transition from training to maintaining and applying them for life, and also keep on progressing to potentially your oversplits and deeper flexibility. So if you're still trying to figure out how to structure your sustainable plan, then this lesson will help you. Now we're going to look at when to again look at the intensity, prevent flexibility loss without overstretching, and how often to train your splits. So obviously, let's have a look as well, because splits is not only the only thing you want to train. Yes, you might want to work on your scissor splits, and then you want to also get your middle splits, and then you also want to get your back bends. So it gets busy in here when you start training. Yes. So how often is not just to get flexible, but it's also keeping it. So when you start practicing other things as well, you still keep your current flexibility level in your splits. So again, a little table here if you just want to be building flexibility 3 to 5 times, because you start increasing a bit more the intensity. Maintaining is about 2-3 times per week with shorter session, a bit of mobility control work. Those are very easy to include in your weekly routine. And to recover, you need to actually again increase your intensity. It will be for a short amount of time, then you revert back to maintaining or building, but it will be a lot more higher intensity and progressive overload. So obviously, in key principle, more intensity is needed to gain the range, but less is required to maintain it. It's really much easier. You just want to train a little bit less and just do shorter session, and you just want to keep your active mobility strength here. So you don't always have to do the deep static and active stretching phases when you want to increase and work a little bit more intensely on your stretch. So once you have your splits, you can start working on your oversplits. So when we work on the oversplits, then we still need to include the passive and active stretching. But when you just want to maintain your current split, this is the strategy. Yes. So again, always focus on maintaining, but also reduce your intensity if you hit the goals. If you feel like you want to maintain them, you're training for skill-based goal. You've had a lot of training, you're doing 4 weeks, and then you're going to train 2 weeks on top of this. So you need to take a deload. Yes. You need to keep, again, awareness. And if you're training for skill-based goal, you need to prioritize a bit more the strength as well, but work on maintenance. Yeah, so now you start reducing your split training from 2 times instead to 2 times instead of 5 times. You swap for shorter control hold instead of long passive stretching. Yeah, so we're not working on increasing, we're just maintaining. And we prioritize mobility and SMR to keep the tissues healthy. Try to think as well about reducing the intensity and just working about maintenance when you start fatiguing as well, and you need to deload. Stay where you are, maintain it, and just deload it. Now, how to prevent? Why do people lose their flexibility? They stop training completely. They're not consistent. They only keep doing passive stretching, thinking that's going to do your maintenance. That is not the case. You can't do maintenance with passive stretching. And you're not reinforcing the range in movement. So you're not actually utilizing what you've gained into your practice of aerial pole dance or fitness. So how to keep them? You need to use your flexibility in real movement by integrating your gains into your practice. You need to do often mobility drills, even just 5-10 minutes is enough. And you need to keep your strength work in your routine. So that's why I always recommend, and that's why I've created the Aerial Performance Lab, because you still want to have strength work. So you need to maintain your strength, your glutes, your core, your hip flexor stability. So I have my workouts 3 times a week, and that helps me stay flexible. It is a skill, but just like strength, it needs upkeep. It doesn't quite require overtraining, but upkeep. All right, so this lesson was quite short, but we looked at the fact that maintaining flexibility is a lot easier than you think, but it's not passive stretching, it's mobility. You have to reduce the intensity in order that you've hit your goal. So once you've reached a certain goal, you deload, you maintain, you take a little bit of time, and then if you want to keep going, then you start a new strategy and a new training plan. You integrate your flexibility into your actual movement. So try and enjoy as well your newly acquired flexibility before you move on and keep pushing. Remember, just like training, you do need to take a little bit of a step back before moving forward again. So let's have a look at what we need to do. Identify your current goal, especially with this one. What was your goals this time? Now, have you reached your goal? Yes or no? Remember, you still have another 2 weeks that you can work. Yeah, you can re-practice maybe week 3 and week 4 a second time. You can still practice your strength training, but you need to adjust. If you achieve your goal, then maybe you can deload at the end of this program and you can start maintaining for 2 weeks and then maybe change the goals or just enjoy your current gains. Now we're going to look at how you can apply this into your practice, how to integrate into your skill, prevent the range of loss while training, because that happens. Yes, trust me, it has happened to me, and how to keep your flexibility while improving your strength and your power. Let's see you in the next lesson.